Hello everyone. I'm the Apache, and welcome back to the Apache Chronicles. It's a great happiness to be back here again to talk to you. I was away for a while. My wild mountain kitten got sick, and I had to travel back to the mountains to take care of him. He's not all good yet, but I count on your good wishes so he gets better soon. Last video, we saw that Drake, Enzo, and Latz Karen, as Queen Commanders, they provide constant and stable healing which enables Jaime Lannister awakened skill to work. Given the constant healing skills capacities from these three commanders, it's normal to wonder, is it efficient to assign all of them together? Well, I'll explain the mechanics of this scenario before we go to a conclusion. Why I asked myself this question, you must wonder. Due to the game battle mechanics. Well, if you are totally clueless about what I'm referring to, don't panic, we'll get there. Eventually. I think. Let's simulate the following. Throughout the battle beginning, an enemy lineup launches attacks against allied lineups. For each attack, there are certain amounts of troops injured and a certain amount of troops killed. Meanwhile, the Queen Commander is stacking up defense buff for their respective troop types, as seen before. Once the defense buff stacking is done, the Queen Commander starts to heal 1% of the injured troops every 3 seconds. The healing of the injured troops, by the Queen Commander, will trigger Jaime's skill to launch a weakness attack at the enemy lineup with the most troops lost. Now, out of instinct or pure common sense, we may imagine the following scenario, in which we assign all three Queen Commanders and they will all work by the same modus operandi, providing simultaneous healing, therefore, more munition for Jaime Lannister to launch at least the triple amount of weakness attacks within the same window of time in battle. Well, fundamentally, we need to pay attention to the word simultaneous here. Although all Queen Commanders have the capacity to heal simultaneously when assigned together, this is very rare to happen. As I previously said, we need to pay attention to the game battle mechanics to understand why it is rare. The army formation used as a reference here is Spearman Cavalry. As you remember, these are assigned per rows. Previously, I had explained that each commander is responsible for each respective column in battle. Regarding Latz, Enzo and Drake's awakened skills, we always need to remember that they heal their respective troop types lineups which are distributed in rows. So, it doesn't matter if a lineup outside their columns has injured troops, after their defense buff stack-ups, they will heal 1% of the injured respective to the troops types each one can heal. And now, here it's where the cat's jump lies. During battle, no matter which enemy lineup attacks, their attacks will always focus the front row's lineups you have assigned for battle. In this case, the front row has spearmen. That is, until they annihilate your front row, they won't touch your cavalry nor infantry. The game mechanics logic dictates that enemy lineups will launch attacks against your front row lineups, until those front row lineups are annihilated. And only then, the enemy lineups will move forward to the next row. In the example given, first they attack and annihilate spearmen lineups, then cavalry lineups, and lastly infantry lineups. The game mechanics works under that logic. Therefore, based on that parameter, and taking into account normal attacks from enemy troops, and normal attacks from enemy troops only, it is okay to think that the Queen Commanders, when they are assigned together, they will also follow that logic, which is, it is not possible for them to heal their respective troops types simultaneously because they are bound to the game mechanics. In practice, this would mean that assigning all three Queen Commanders could be a very bad idea, since it wouldn't be efficient at all to wait a previous row to die so another commander could start healing and therefore activating Jaime's weakness attacks. At least, by logic, that was what I thought.
It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened.
As you are able to see here in the report, more specifically, at the battle record section, we can see an example in which all three Queen Commanders, Drake, Latz and Enzo, were assigned for battle. And, as the battle progressed, they all stacked up their defense buffs for each of their respective troop types simultaneously. So far, so good. This is just for you to see how this information is displayed here in this area. Nevertheless, the main part that I want to show comes later on, after the defense buff stacks are due, and these commanders have their skills turned into healing. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but all the reports I looked at follow the same pattern. Although there are no wounded cavalry nor infantry in battle, Enzo and Latz healed 0 troops for their respective lineups, which triggered Jaime's skill, turning these lineups' normal attacks into weakness attacks. So, what was supposed to be rare to happen due to logic, it actually happens if you assign all 3 commanders. So, what has happened is that Queen commanders, responsible for the backline rows, disregard the fact there are no wounded troops and heal all the same. Well, given this present scenario that bends the battle mechanics, we can see that this Queen lineup matching can ensure a very serious combo of attacks from allied lineups against enemy ones, in a simultaneous manner. As you can see in the report, within a small window of 3 seconds, we have multiple attacks from the lineups against enemy ones, while they stack up weakness damage coefficient. Nevertheless, not all smells like teen spirit, as Kurt would say. When thinking about assigning these 3 Queen commanders together alongside Jaime Lannister, given that they are from different specializations, I'd say it's important that you have either high total troop buffs, at least above 700%, with all enemy reductions taken into account, or that you use them for defense when you can play out with the number of troops defending. In the next video, I will run some quick simulations in order to explain this further, since this is a bit outside the synergy core concept, but rather general gameplay knowledge, but I think that this will close the topic on the Queen commanders. A great Apache hug.